everybody, you're watching the Christiana321. I am the Christiana. Okay, if they want to be in the video, they can be in the video. But about the time that I started back on YouTube, I also reopened my Twitter account. Link in the description if you just want to see me replying to other people's tweets and not coming up with a whole lot of original content. And one of the ideas that I had for a video was kind of what I learned from being back on Twitter, and I had taken some screenshots of some poignant tweets, some funny tweets, and I was just gonna rattle off 10 of them and make quippy remarks. But in light of some recent political events, I thought that this tweet in particular deserved its own video. This is from @Truths on April 19th, said, "Sarcasm requires intimacy. I don't think you can see someone discuss something painful, reply with sarcasm as a stranger, and immediately expect laughter or get mad." And I think that that's pretty accurate. Sarcasm requires you to know who you're talking to know what would make them more upset or what they could laugh about. And you need to know that you're coming from a good place. So even if it is something that maybe they don't find particularly funny at this moment, you know that they know that you're not being serious. Also recently, and I wasn't able to find the screenshot for this, it may have been on one of the podcasts I listened to, but I believe it was Amir Blumenfeld or one of the people in his circle on the internet. So recently, he or one of his cohorts made a comment along the lines of when fans reply to something that they've posted with a joke, something that can be more hurtful than funny. Again, couldn't find it, so that might not be an exact quote. Totally agree. If you don't know that this person who's tweeting at you is calling you an idiot with love, then you just have somebody on the internet calling you an idiot. It's tough. Personally, as a fan of Amir Blumenfeld and Jay Kurwitz, a lot of times when I see something they've typed, my brain jumps to the joke that they would be making in one of their videos or on their podcast, which a lot of times is sarcastic ribbing between the two of them. And I want to participate in that because I feel like I've gotten to know them, and so the relationship from me to them, or from them to me, feels very intimate because I've seen so much of them over the years, and I've heard so many stories about their lives. They have no idea who I am. If I reply saying something rude, if Jake had replied with that exact same thing, would be hilarious coming from somebody who they don't have that intimate relationship with. It is just hurtful rather than funny. And I think that happens a lot. You hear different celebrities or influencers or YouTubers talk about it, and you read the comments, and the comments on their videos or their tweets or whatever, if it was coming from a friend, it's coming from a very intimate place. Fortran is joining us. So there's this weird thing in the digital age, in this level of social media, where the fans of someone feel very connected to them, and it's a misunderstanding of the relationship. You get to have an intimate view of this person's life through social media, through their YouTube videos. It's not a two-way street. And that can happen in real life too, where one person might feel intimately close to a person. And when I say intimately close, I don't mean just boyfriend, girlfriend, kissy, huggy stuff. For me, I take a long time to build that trust, build that intimacy with a person where I feel comfortable just being sarcastic on all the levels. But there's a lot of people, I think it might be an introvert-extrovert thing, but that's a theory I'm still working on. There's some people who, it seems like almost instantly upon meeting you, it's your best friend now. You guys just are gonna go get best friend tattoos, but not everybody's like that. And for sarcasm to be appreciated, it needs to be a two-way street. So I thought I'd give some examples in my life of how I've handled sarcasm. I struggled with empathy a lot. One of the key ways of having intimacy with a person is having that empathy and knowing what they would appreciate sarcasm for and what they would not. So when I was younger, I have an older sister and a younger sister, and when my older sister became a teenager, or preteen-ish, that's when sarcasm really started hitting my house. Somebody who struggles with empathy and somebody being new to sarcasm doesn't always know how to deliver it correctly. My family came up with sarcasm hands, which is kind of like jazz hands. No, I mean, it's basically jazz hands. So if somebody was being sarcastic, you could just do that and you would know that whatever they said, they didn't mean it in the straightforward way. And we still use it to this day. We'll be on the phone and my mom will say something and I won't react the way she was expecting, and she'll say, I'm doing sarcasm hands. You can't see it right now, but I'm doing sarcasm hands. So that worked for most of my life, but that only works with people who know what sarcasm hands are. When I was in college, I developed a very dry sense of humor, a very sarcastic sense of humor. I would just flat deliver a line, and people were really hurt by the things I was saying, and I didn't realize because to me I was just joking. And again, not having great empathy, I couldn't really tell that they were upset by my jokes. So I had to teach myself to laugh at my own jokes so that people would know that I was joking and that it was okay. And then eventually it evolved. I still use that technique some, especially with new people where I'm not entirely sure what level we're at. And the third technique that I use, it's probably my most frequent technique now at my maturity level, is just not using sarcasm unless I know that the person and I have that intimate relationship, that friendship, that bond built. And then if I misjudged the friendship and we were not there, or I misjudged what they would be upset about, which is still something that I'm working on, then I apologize. I'm sorry that I told an inappropriate joke. I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry that I suggested you do something harmful. I honestly did not mean that. I was just trying to lighten the situation, and obviously I did not do a good job of it. So why am I doing this video now? I'm not going to get too specific about the situation. If it's something that you follow, then great. Recently, a powerful person made some potentially harmful statements, and then later claimed that they were sarcastic and asked the question, what, can nobody be sarcastic anymore? If we believe those statements were in fact meant sarcastically when they were originally stated, did this person just misjudge his relationship with the listeners, the people he was addressing? I think that it's definitely possible for a person to misjudge that, especially if you truly believe that the nation is on your side, that everybody listening has that intimate relationship that, say, a YouTuber has with their subscribers. Most of those subscribers, the vast majority, probably like that YouTuber. So if you are only addressing people who you know love you and or like you, follow you because they like what you say, then yeah, maybe you do have that one-way intimacy with those listeners. But when you are in a place of political power where you did not receive 100% of the votes, is it appropriate for someone with huge influence over their listeners to use sarcasm to say dangerous messages? Is it okay for someone who doesn't have that intimate relationship with the entire group of people that can hear them to use sarcasm at all without making it blatantly obvious? Is there a way that a politician could use sarcasm, say those statements, and then laugh at his own jokes the way that I learned to, or use sarcasm hands. Let's talk about it in the comments. What responsibility do people with power have to make sure that their messages are conveyed the way that they meant them to their listeners? Whether it is a politician or the CEO of your company or a supervisor or manager. I don't know. Things like that. We don't need to get super political. I just want to talk about the responsibility that we have over our own words. Sarcasm is one that it's really funny when it's done well. I don't think that we aren't allowed to do sarcasm anymore. The double negative. I think that we should definitely keep doing sarcasm. I'm gonna stop because I've gone through my note cards and now I'm just ranting and repeating things that I've already said. I forgot to say it at the end of my last video, but make sure you like and subscribe. I really enjoy making YouTube videos. I haven't quite found my niche yet of where I want to be in the YouTube sphere. I like doing kind of serious sit-down talky videos, but I also like doing the silly ones, like how to do the dishes. Let me know what you think. Have a good night. Sweet dreams.